So welcome to the next installment of Abolition for Breakfast. And the thought that I have for y'all today has to do with the punishment and the cycle of punishment that happens in our minds. And having worked on prison abolition and police abolition and like the whole system of punishment for years, and like doing battle and running and talking to politicians and talking to community members and everything, and wonder why we're not getting anywhere. Well, I started reading the Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, and one of the things that he wrote about was how we have this like auto domestication process that's taught to us in our socialization from our parents and from the TVs and from the schools, the teachers, our brothers, our sisters, our aunties, our friends, our neighbors, our village, our community, our city. And then at some point we cross a threshold where we don't need them to domesticate us anymore, that we domesticate ourselves, and that we have this like judge in our head that is telling us we're wrong and we're undeserving and we're not valuable and the things that we're doing are not good enough. Like when people tell us we can't sing or we can't dance or we shouldn't do this or we shouldn't vote or whatever the case may be. But these things are going on inside of our heads from the people around us, and then at some point that starts to take over in our own minds. And as I've been working on getting rid of the system of punishment, and we argue with them, we're like, yo, punishment doesn't work. What I'm curious about what people are thinking about right now is that what we're talking about is a spiritual journey. And if what we're after is changing the public perception so that punishment is no longer an option on the table, or at least not a viable, the number one go-to option, then what we're talking about is reprogramming our spirit, our soul, our psyche, our mind, and how we think about it. Because if we're beating ourselves up and punishing ourselves internally so often that is our go-to for ourselves, then how can we even begin to think about what is happening outside in society, in the community, in the way that we handle other people and interactions and interpersonal relationships, if we cannot deal with our intrapersonal relationship and stop punishing ourselves? That's the question that I have for today in terms of abolition.